Rent got too expensive, had to leave LA. So I got into my car and I went away to the big estate. Playing poker every day. Going all in with these fish like I'm at an all-you-can-eat buffet. After a big $1,300 win at LSU, we head 3 hours east to Biloxi, Mississippi, home to a mini Las Vegas atmosphere, although in my opinion way prettier. Check it out. Marcelo and I get dinner at the Half Shell Oyster House, and it might have been the best meal of the trip. We started off with a Southern Pecan Old Fashioned and followed it up with a bowl of the crawfish, crab, and corn bisque. For dinner, we decided to get the oyster sampler, which consisted of charbroiled, Bienville, Rockefeller, and Orleans style oysters. They were so good we had to order 12 more. We hit the bathroom, which was covered in oyster shells, and went outside just in time to catch the sunset. Time for some poker. We head over to the Beau Rivage, which is basically the Bellagio 2.0. Doesn't take long for us to find the poker room. It's a nice one at that. And we sit down in the 1-3 game, which is uncapped. We're in for $1,500. We got 10 amazing hands to go through here. At the end of the night, this was the biggest cash out of my life. The first hand we looked down at Ace Queen of Hearts from the big blind. Lebo, our buddy who invited us down to the Beau Rivage, you guys will meet him later. He's in the cutoff and raises it up to $15. I put in the 3-bet here. I'm out of position and I have a good hand. I make it $50. Lebo finds a call, so going heads up out of position to a flop, which comes Jack 4-3 with 2 clubs. Need to go for a C-bet here. I like around a half pot size bet. I go for a third of the pot for $35, and Lebo finds a call, which brings the 5 of hearts on the turn. When he calls us on the flop, he's going to have a lot of king jack, ace jack, queen jack type hands. He's also going to have some flush draws as well. I decide to check it over to him, see what he does, and proceed accordingly. He decides to bet out for $50, and considering I only have a gutter to a straight, I also have 2 overcards, but those might be dead if he has queen jack or ace jack, so I decide to put in the early fold here. 1-0 to Lebo, and we're down $85 early on the session. Let's try this again. I look down at king queen from under the gun, and I raise it up to $15. Getting 5 callers here. Apparently that's nothing new here in Mississippi. Lots of action. We're going 6 ways to the flop, which gives us top pair. That's pretty good. King 9-4 rainbow. The blinds check it over to me, and I go for a c-bet here into the field. I need to thin it out. I bet $40. We only get looked up by the cutoff and the small blind, so going 3 ways to the turn, which gives us 2 pair. It comes a queen of spades. In between 2 opponents now, the small blind checks it over to me. I have 2 pair, there's some draws on board. Opponents could be picking up a backdoor draw on the turn, having spades, so I need to bet out here for $75. Action's on the cutoff, and he doesn't fold. He also doesn't call. He rips his entire stack all in, $254, which scares the small blind out of the way. It's back over to me. What is he representing here? It's a pretty narrow range. Not many bluffs, not many value. The value hands are going to consist of king queen, which I have, pocket 9s, pocket 4s. I doubt he'd have king 9 or king 4, which I do have beat. It's a pretty narrow range. What bluffs does he have? Maybe some spades, although I do have the king of spades in my hand, making it less likely he even has those. However, I didn't drive all the way to Mississippi to fold top 2 pair on this board, so I put in the call here. The river comes a 7 of clubs. He turns over pocket 4s, Ethan's favorite hand. That's no good for us though. He has a set that beats my 2 pair, and we're going to lose that $718 pot. Alright, I teased that this was my biggest cash out of my life, yet I'm stuck a lot of money early here. I look down at king queen offsuit. Things need to change, right? The $6 straddle's on, I'm in the low jack, and there's 2 callers to me. Obviously not going to be playing for $6. I pop it up to $30. Does that scare anybody away? No. 4 callers to the flop. We're going 5 ways. Comes queen high though, which is pretty great news for us. Queen 10-7 with 2 clubs. Additionally, I have the king of clubs in my hand. With $150 out there, not going to let anyone draw to a hand cheaply. I bet out for $50. Like the action pre-flop, nobody likes to fold. 3 people put in the call, and that brings us 4 ways to the turn. The turn's a pretty gross one. It comes in 9 of clubs. Front door clubs get there, the straights get there. Although I do have the king of clubs in my hand, I decide to check when the action's on me, and the action actually gets checked around, so we get a free card and we're off to the river. River pairs the board. It comes to 10 of hearts, leaving us at the end with 2 pair, queens and 10s with a king kicker. I decide a check is the best move here. If someone's got a better hand, they're going to bet it. People could also bluff on the river if I check it over to them. The cutoff decides to bet out for $60, and that's just too cheap a price for me to fold. I have top pair with a king kicker. I put in the call, and he shows us the bad news once again. What's going on here? The bullets are shown by the cutoff, pocket aces, and that's no good for us. We're stuck $740 early on the session. My previous largest win was around 3,100. I'm stuck 700 early, which means I need to have a 4K swing in the rest of this vlog for me to even compete with that. I look down at ace 10 from the low jack. The $6 straddle's on again. There's 2 callers to me, and I pop it up to $30 again. This time we only get 2 callers from the small blind and the middle position. We're going 3 ways to the flop, which is 10 high, giving us top pair, top kicker, 10-7 deuce, rainbow. Pretty great board for us. I bet out for $30. We get looked up by the small blind. The middle position player gets out of the way, leaving us heads up to the jack of diamonds on the turn. In position now though, the small blind checks it over to me. I have a decision between checking and betting. If he's calling us on the flop, he probably has a 10 in his range. There's not too many draws and not too many better hands. He's not going to have jacks through aces. So I think I like a bet here on the turn for value. However, I make a mistake in the moment and I check behind, exercising some pot control. But newsflash, Wolf, you're down 750 in the session. Why are you trying to exercise pot control? You need to be getting value when you probably have the best hand. Anyways, the river comes a 5 of spades. Not really too eventful, but the action is when the small blind rips it all in for $237, an over pot size bet. As you can see from this video, I start cutting out the green chips. I'm just a non-believer early. I start fumbling with them and thinking about what he could be doing this with. It's very polarizing, meaning he either has the nuts or it's a bluff. The nuts would be pocket 10s, pocket 7s, pocket deuces. The 5 doesn't really change anything by the river, so it's got to be a set or nothing. Can't really get a read off of the opponent, and his player profile doesn't really give me much either, so I'm going to go with my initial read. Sometimes if you think long, you think wrong. My initial read was to put in the call. That's what I do. It's an over pot size call here, and he turns over a strange hand, one that had showdown value, but he turned it into a bluff. Queen 10 offsuit. No good, sir. That was a great hero call by me there on the river. $627 coming my way, and now we're down under $500 on the session. Brings me to the next hand, Queen 10 of clubs from under the gun, and I'm going to pop it up to $15. There's 2 callers, so going 3 ways to the flop, which gives us top pair, Queen 8-4 with 2 spades. Under the gun and out of position against 2 other opponents, I decided to start with a check, and it goes around to the cutoff, who bets $35. Obviously not going to be folding to 1 bet here. I put in the call and we're off to the turn. When the turn comes the deuce of hearts, it shouldn't really change anything. I continue with my line of checking, and the cutoff decides to go for a second bet here for $45. Not going to be folding again. I'm not a nit and I'm stuck big. I put in the call, which brings a 4 of diamonds on the river, pairing the board. I start with a check once again. Hopefully the cutoff checks behind and we show down and win. If he bets big here, it's most likely he has a value hand or missed spades. And sure enough, he bets out for $120 into the $209 pot, but unlike the opponent in the last hand, his player profile was pretty tight, so this $120 bet is more likely value than a bluff in my opinion. I just don't think I'm good here, so I show the king and muck my cards, hoping it inspires him to show us for the vlog. He doesn't. It's unfortunate there are 2 missed flush draws on the flop and the turn, so he could have been bluffing us there. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Was that a good fold or a bad fold? It's been a battle so far. We have 900 in our stack. I look down at ace king and raise it up to $16 over a few limpers. We get 3 callers, so we're off to the flop, which gives us top king 8-6 rainbow. Pretty great board. When the action checks over to me, I bet out 1 green chip for $25. The under the gun sticks in the 25 and we're heads up to the turn. Turn comes a queen of spades. Not exactly the best card. If he has king queen, he now has us beat, but he checks it over to me for a second time. I need to go for a second street of value. $99 out there, and I bet out for 45. We find a quick fold from the opponent, so we're just going to take down that pot uncontested, hoping to build some momentum for the next hand. Hey, Levo! Look at that! Not too shabby. What's up, you guys? We ran into a subscriber here, Levo, super cool. He ended up profiting $1,600 on the night. I don't know if he wanted me to share that, but that was a big W for him, and shout out to him. He was actually messaging me the whole time I was in Texas, telling me to come out here. And he wants all the other vloggers to come out here as well. Who do you want to see out here, Levo?
Yeah, man. Come on, Mariano, Rampage, Next Gen guys.
Bring them on.
Y'all come on out to Biloxi, man. We have a good time out here. We have some good poker. Hope to see you guys out here. If you ever come in town, get up with Wolfgang here and get my information. We'll have some fun. I like to play with everybody.
Hey, shout out to you, Levo.
Yeah,
nice playing with you tonight. And let's go. Let's get back in the hands. Woo! After chatting with Levo for a little while, we end up switching tables. It wasn't going well for us on the last one, but thank goodness that we did. This next one is an absolute heater. First hand at the new table, we look down at 8-9 of clubs from the button. $6 straddle is on, and there's a few callers to me. 8-9 of clubs is a good hand. It's not a great one, but I'm stuck in the session, so I raise it up to $30. We get 3 callers, so we're going 4 ways to the flop. What does the flop come? 5, 6, 7, bang! We flop a straight. Our luck is finally turned. You guys are getting rewarded by sticking it through this video. Hopefully I get rewarded in this hand. Under the gun just leads out for $75. The middle position calls for less, $25. He's all in. The cutoff sticks in the call as well, and now the action's on me and the button. Let's just go over what's happening in this hand. I raise pre-flop with 9 high, flop the nuts, and the under the gun leads out, and we get a caller to us. This is a dream situation. There's no flushes on board, but when it goes bet, call, call, probably going to be some 2 pairs and sets. I don't want the board to pair on the turn, so I'm going to try to get the money in now. Me and the under the gun are pretty deep ourselves, so I raise it up to $205, hoping that one player puts in the call, but our dreams are coming true. Both the players put in $205. What is life? We have the nuts. Just don't pair the board dealer. We should be good. $760 in the middle, and the turn is gin. Comes a 3 of spades. Still holding the nuts. This is a dream situation. Actions on under the gun, and you would think he'd probably just check it over to the cutoff. Cutoff would probably check it over to me, considering I was the one who went for the raise on the flop. But no, that's not what's happening here. Under the gun ships it all in for $500, and now the cutoff calls for less for $100. Obviously I have the nuts, nothing to even think about. I take a stack of chips in my hand, put it into the middle, and start piling in the rest, letting the table know that I'm all in, and they're probably in bad shape. The river is bad though. It comes a 7 of hearts pairing the board. That's not what we wanted to see. The cutoff, who didn't have very much, turns over 9-7. Okay, we have that beat. Under the gun, what does he have? A huge side pot to play for, and he turns over 6-4 of clubs, leaving us with the best hand out of the 3. 9 high straight is going to take down this $1,900 pot. What a table change, and we went from being stuck $700 to up $620. On top of it, I finally collected the elusive $1,000 chip. I know I've been playing some bigger games here in Texas and at the Wynn and in Vegas, but I've never gotten a $1,000 chip. Looks pretty good there on my chip stack. Let's go. I haven't even had time to rack up my chips. Look at this sight in front of you. How beautiful is that? I look down at pocket 9s and I raise it up to $20. We get 3 callers. We're going 4 ways to the flop. Continuing our good run, we flop an overpair. Comes 7-3 deuce with 2 spades. Middle position leads out into us for $20. Apparently donking into the pre-flop raiser is common here in Mississippi. I'm not complaining. I stick in the call and the cutoff does as well, leaving us 3 ways to the turn. Turn comes at 8 of diamonds. Seems harmless as well. We still have the overpair, actions on middle position. Now he decides to check, actions on me. I'm not going to check it over to the cutoff, giving him the option to get a free card by the river. So I bet out for $55. That's the price of poker, sir. But he obliges. He sticks in the 55, actions on middle position, and he decides to get out of the way and put in the fold. The river gives us 2 pair, coming the 2 of diamonds. There's 305 in the middle. I'm going to give the opponent some rope and start with a check. If he wants to go for a bluff here, I'm giving him the rope to do so. If he has a hand like 7-8, he's probably going to go for value, and I can snap him off with 2 pair, hoping the cutoff puts in a bet. That's exactly what he does. He rips it all in for $130. I didn't check it over to him here on the river to fold to any bet, let alone a shove. Looks very polarizing, and I just don't believe him. I stick in the call, and sure enough, my call is rewarded. He turns over 6 high for some busted draws. Not really too sure how he played that hand, but we're going to take down that $565. I love this table. We're running super well. We're We're 2 for 2 at this new table, trying to go for the three-peat, and we got a good chance to do that when we look down at King Kong, the Cowboys. We've left Texas, we're in Mississippi, but they followed us over here as well. Middle position raises it up to $10. My right puts in the call. Not going to be playing for $10. I pop it up to $45. Middle position now jams all in for $350. Pretty strange to raise it to 10 and then rip it all in for $350. So when the player on my right finds a fold, obviously never folding kings preflop. Oh wait, I did that in Arizona, but it's been a long road trip and I've learned since then. I stick in the call here and we're off to a run out. Flop comes Jack 5 deuce. Turn pairs the board and the river comes the 8 of spades with 714 out there to play for. He turns over 2 pair, jacks and deuces. Sorry sir, my kings are gonna scoop that. Kings and deuces gonna be up $1,200 after this nice size pot. The opponent goes for the reload, and that's important to note because we play a big pot against him here in the next hand. Look down at 6-7 of spades. You're probably wondering, how did I get into a big pot with 6-7 of spades? So drop a like on this video and buckle your seatbelts because this is the gnarliest hand I've played so far. Middle position raises it up to $15. There's one call over to me. I'm on the button and I'm 3 for 3 at this table. I'm going to stick in the $15 as well. And now the big blind's a party pooper and raises it up to $58. When the 2 other players call over to me, I'm closing the action. I only need to put in around $43 more. I do have 7 high. I do have some reverse implied odds. I could get into a big hand with some higher spades and be in a lot of trouble, but we're here in Mississippi. I put in the call. Let's gamble. $232 in the pot, and the flop comes Jack high. Jack 10-9 with 2 spades. Obviously just 7 high here on the flop, but we have some ideas on the turn. Middle position starts with a check, and the hijack now bets out for $125. He's the player in the last hand. We stacked kings versus king jack all in pre-flop, so I'm not going anywhere when he bets $125 into the $232 pot. I put in the call. The big blind does as well, and it seems we're going 4 ways to the turn when the middle position puts in the call for less, $27. He's all in. We need a spade on the turn, and that's exactly what comes. The queen of spades, bang, we turn the flush in a 4-way pot. Pretty connected board. There's 3 spades, a 4-liner to any straight, and when the big blind checks, the hijack just rips it all in for $1,304. Middle position is already all in, so the action's on me. It's important to think about the player profile. He ripped it in for $1,300 here. He also ripped it in pre-flop in the last hand with king jack. So our logic is telling us here he could be doing this light. Obviously I have a flush, I have a very strong hand. We're only concerned about better flushes. Could he have them? Sure, but he also is the crazy maniac player we just stacked in the last hand, so he might just be trying to get one through on us, expecting us not to be as strong as we are. Still, it's a $1,300 bet into the $600 pot. It'd be pretty much all of our profits. We'd actually be stuck around $300 or $400 on the session. Double pot size overbet here, so I want you guys to pause this video and go down in the comments. Let me know what you guys would do. Obviously, we have a flush, but it's a double pot size bet. Okay, we're back. If you thought I was folding, you guys are sadly mistaken. How could I win the most amount of money in my life by folding here in this spot? I put in the call. Big blind gets out of the way and the river comes the 4 of hearts. The hijack first to show. He doesn't look too stoked about it, which we love to see. And sure enough, he turns over 2 pair. 2 pair on a 4-liner and 3 to a flush. Queen 10 of hearts. That's no good, sir. I turn over my 7 high flush. It's a 3.2k pot. Got some Marcelo footage from above showing us raking in this absolute monstrosity of a pot, let alone it's a 1-3 game. Go figure. Holy crap, you guys. Oh my gosh, this might be the biggest cash out of my life. Absolutely insane finish there. We were stuck 700 in the beginning of this session, but then persevered. Never give up. If you're in a good headspace and you believe in your game, just keep playing. We ended up cashing out for $46.32, in for $1,500, profit of $31.32 or something crazy like that. Absolute insanity. Subscribe right now if you're not already. Marcelo,
someone trying to stop my boy, please try.
This road trip, I just need to keep it going. This is gonna be like a 5-year road trip. We're gonna be a millionaire by the end of like year 2. But in all seriousness, thanks so much for all your support on the videos. I'm obviously really tired. May have had a few drinks, a little tipsy as well, but drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, leave a comment down below. I'll try to respond to all the positive ones, not the haters out there. As always, good luck on the felt. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace! Thanks for watching to the end of my video. Click my head below to subscribe and stay in the loop. See you next time.